Live from Jefferson City, it's the This Week in Missouri Politics Midweek Update with Scott Faughn.
On the first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me a partridge. We're not doing that, but we do have a 12 days of Christmas for you lined up. 12 days of DEI at DCI. For those of you that don't study this, which I didn't, I had no idea, Kelton, when I first saw this, that they do banking over there. Had no clue. They had commerce is underneath their thing. They have banking and insurance. I just thought it was the Department of Insurance. But as you've seen, we played some reindeer games with you in the past. We have ferreted out the DEI there, and so Kelton, it comes down to this very, very simple thing. Did Donald Trump, Kelton, the freshly shaven Kelton Turner, is the Kelton cam on?
I forgot to turn it on.
Damn. Well, you can take my word for it. He's getting a little stubble. He's actually, what Kelton's face right now looks like is what mine would look like if I didn't shave for 3 years. That's pretty much what he's got. He's got a good underbrush there. Kelton, are we staying clean shaven through the end of the year? What are we doing here?
I think I'm going to try and grow out a small beard this time. We'll take it easy.
Well, we'll all get to watch together. By the way, congratulations to your Missouri Tigers covering the spread, as you predicted. It only took you 12 games to get that right.
Better late than never is what I always say.
All right. So we brought to you what's happening at the Department of Insurance with a clue game, with different documents. And I had somebody ask me the other day, he said, is it really what they're doing over there? And I'm like, yeah, it's really what they're doing over there. So I decided, what better way to prove the point to all you skeptics out there that are like, there's no way. Because, Kelton, let me ask you a question. Did Donald Trump say if you vote Republican, he's getting rid of DEI?
He said something like that, I'm sure.
Did Eric Schmidt say, vote Republican, I'm getting rid of DEI?
He did say that.
Did Mike Kehoe look in the camera and say, I'm not doing DEI, we're getting rid of it?
Yes.
Did Cindy O'Loughlin and everyone that ran for state senate and was elected by a supermajority of the people of this state, did they say they were getting rid of DEI?
They sure did.
Did John Patterson, Alex Riley, and all their caucus that ran and was elected by a supermajority of this state, did they say they were getting rid of DEI?
I believe so, yes.
So, luckily, this is why sports and politics have some similarities. And the similarity they have is the most fun for me is that you have a scoreboard. Did the bill pass? Did the bill fail? Well, look at the scoreboard. It'll tell you. So I look at the scoreboard here. And as you go through the game, like I got the chance to sit in the cold. I mean, shout out to Justy Schneiders, the absolute MacGyver of tailgating. He pulled one off in treacherous conditions like a champ. But there's little tells throughout the game, right? Like with Mizzou, you could tell when they finally gave up passing the ball in the snow and just started making things happen with Brady Cook's feet, the game shifted, right? You could tell whenever Mizzou got that 2-point conversion to go up the full 7. There were little things that you could tell, right? Well, there's a couple tells to know if all the people I just listed, you from Donald Trump all the way down to my state representative Cameron Parker, if they were being serious about what they said. And again, I don't call people liars. It's just priorities. But also, we're all too quick to be a little St. Charles County, to throw fits and whine and complain, when really the fact, Kelton, I blame you personally for the dumpster fire that's at the Department of Insurance right now. I blame myself. I'm not just blaming Kelton, but I am. Truman, it's a little bit your fault. Jesse James, a little bit. Bear, I don't know what the Missouri State Bears name is, but it's a little bit your fault. Tashar Jones, a little bit your fault. She might take credit for it. It's a little bit of all of our faults. These people hide in plain sight. I mean, they get awards from left-wing Marxist organizations. They put them on the website. You have to hand it to them. They're not hiding anything. The Sunshine Request, they've been very professional to work with. There's nothing that they're hiding. They are flipping you off right in plain sight. And look, maybe it is true, Kelton. Maybe just because you're white, you're the problem. Maybe my son is just the problem. I don't know. Shout out Boomer the Bear. Did you know the bear's name was Boomer?
You could have given me 100 guesses. I wouldn't have guessed that.
I like Boomer, but there was one time, like when Cliff was leaving campus and he had a convertible out and the bear looked so sad. Well, little did that bear know how sad he was going to be. Pretty straight out. Yeah, that longing wave at Cliff. You think Boomer kept Cliff on speed dial?
Oh, I bet he's in the phone somewhere.
Yeah, I bet so. It is. I have watched this with boards in the past. It is very tough when you get pot committed to a guy. And it feels terrible because what are you going to do? You're going to fire a guy months into the thing? I think that's tough, right? It does say you didn't do a great job in the process, maybe the vetting. I also think look, I think this is the truth. I think that Cliff Smart was going to be insanely hard to follow. It just, Moon Choi, at some point, Moon Choi will not be, and I should tell you, I'm sorry, Truman, I'm actually a Moon Choi fan, more than a Mizzou fan. At some point, Moon Choi will not be the president of the University of Missouri, right? That's just at some point, right? Following Moon Choi, terrible, terrible job. I'm going to start off not liking you just from the beginning because Moon has objectively done a phenomenal job. Cliff Smart is, I think, even more because it is more of a personality thing. Mizzou has more institutions. Cliff, as Kelton almost chokes up as I say that. Missouri State is building institutions, but a lot of it was around the personality of Cliff. It's going to be a tough job, but boy, they've got some challenges down there in Springfield. So I don't know. We'll see. Boomer, I don't know how you're feeling right now, but probably wishing you could have shot the tire out of that car Cliff drove off on. But back to the Department of Insurance. People said, well, Scott, did that really happen? Did they really do the DEI? So I'm like, I know what to do. Kelton, as a person that loves Christmas, I decided I would bring to you the 12 days of DEI at DCI. Now, keep in mind, it's called DCI. They have a financial thing. I have no idea. They're probably fine. I have probably gotten, I don't know how many people work at DCI, but I've probably gotten 24 tips from different employees. They all seem like they don't really want to be giving me information. They all seem like they like their job. They all seem like they have leadership that just forces them to do things, that puts them in awkward positions. So with that said, so Kelton, I brought up the DCI, right? So I decided what I would do is I would try. We have so much material. I mean, it took me about 2 hours to organize just the ones we're going to use. Kelton, we could do the 365 days of DEI at DCI if we wanted to, but we're going to do 12. So, Kelton, could you put up the first day of DEI at DCI of Christmas on the screen? If you'll look, this is Department of Commerce and Insurance. This is what they work on, right? Their initiatives, their themes, their and all the things they do. Well, as you can see right there, bottom right-hand corner, it says that initiatives for DEI. Unfortunately, folks, the first day, and I hate to do this, Cal. Look, am I the kind of guy that likes to say I told you so? Well, yes, I am that kind of guy. I mean, that you didn't have to answer. That is true. But that's day one. So what we're going to do, Kel, I think every day by around 10, is that right? We're going to have up.
I think that's what we said.
Just go to Scott Faughn on Twitter, and we'll give you 12 examples. The 12 days of DEI at DCI. We'll bring you one a day. And look, here's the thing. This is the scoreboard, right? All those people we recap, Kelton, Trump, Schmidt, Kehoe, Wassinger, Bailey, Cindy, Tony, Patterson, Alex Riley, on down the list, all of them, right? They all said, we're getting rid of DEI, right? Well, I've got two ways you could tell. One thing, Lincoln Huff actually cut their budget last year because of this woke silliness. That message did not land at all. They didn't give a damn. I would doubt Lincoln Huff's ever been just double-birded quite that fast and hard by a department. And again, look, there's a couple tells here to tell if all the people I just named are serious about any of this. Are they? Is it the Liz Cheney approach or the St. Charles County approach, or we just got to go whine and hide and be mad? and pout, nothing happens? Or is it the Donald Trump approach, the Mike Kehoe approach of we're going to dive in here and we're going to make things happen? And there's a couple ways you'll be able to tell. Number one, nobody was going to keep Clora Lindley Myers. I mean, let's be honest. She really doesn't show up to work hardly ever anyway. It's not like anybody really notices at this point that she doesn't show up to work. She's likes to travel. And look, good for folks in Lebanon today, working hard. Good for folks in Dexter. The good folks up in Scotland County working hard today to pay taxes so she can gallivant all over Hell's Half Acre. I mean, it's a great job if you can get it. And again, Clora Lindley Myers does not hide the fact that she doesn't show up to work. If you sunshine request her, and this is a real testament to her, a lot of people would cover this up. She just tells you, hell with Tarkio, I'm going to Tokyo, right? Don't need to be there. Hell with Sykes, and I'm going to Slovakia. I mean, good for her. Look, if you can get away with it, man, good for you. And she doesn't hide it. She just straight up tells you, I ain't coming to work. I'm going to go to a conference some other place. I don't think all the conferences have done a damn thing for anybody in rural Missouri. So no one was keeping her. And the department knew it. She knew it. They probably thought under some circumstance I might be able to get to stay, but everybody knew. It's not whether they keep her or not. Of course they're getting rid of her. No one would have kept her. The department's in shambles. Well, half of it. There's a lot more to say grace over, but she's an insurance person. Kelton, I've been told many times by people to defend her. She's actually on the board of the National Association of something with insurance. And do you know, Kelt, I took an informal survey this weekend of the people in Meta, Missouri. Do you know how many people in Meta give a damn?
I'm not sure.
That's zero. Zero give a damn. I took an informal poll. I stopped in Lafayette County there at Odessa. Do you know how many people gave a damn? None. Not one person gave a damn. I'm on that list. Don't give a damn. So if you need to text me, as somebody just did, and say, oh, she's the head of the National Association, wow, that kind of stuff doesn't care. Call the New York Times. I don't care what you do with your national stuff. I care what you do here in Missouri. That's it, full stop. My give a damn stops at the Mississippi River. It stops at the Kansas line. It just doesn't go any further. So there's two tells here. She was never being kept. Who will Mike Kehoe name as the interim? If he does name John Rehagen, the head of the Department of DEI, then I think you have a right to say, are you serious about doing this? I mean, you said things, they was exciting, but a little cold water on it. Then the second way is, I've talked to several senators that tell me, unless there's a commitment to fire Rehagen and in this woke silliness, they won't confirm anyone. It's been said on the Senate floor at veto session. Do they mean it? I mean, did Mike Bernstetter, is he a big DEI guy? I doubt it. Is he willing to say, seriously, when I ran, we're ending this? We'll see. I mean, if they confirm a person for insurance that hasn't committed to firing Rehagen, then they're not serious. You got suckered. You got lied to. If you voted for a Republican thinking they were going to do things to end the wokeness, you got screwed. You got suckered. Sorry. Sorry. Jason Bean's my senator. I'll be the first one to tell you, if he bends, if he hides under his desk, if he says I'm against all that woke stuff, but not if I actually have to be against it, hey, I'll tell you if it's even my senator. This is the great thing about politics. There's going to be either this person's going to come out and say I'm firing this and I'm cleaning this up, or they don't. And if they don't, there will be a vote. Now, maybe nobody has the guts to pull them off the slate of gubernatorial appointees. I'm going to ask Cindy O'Loughlin. She's on our This Week in Missouri Politics Sunday. We got a good show, Kelton. We got Cindy O'Loughlin and Doug Beck. How about that?
They're both very fine senators.
Yes. Well, she's the chair of Goobies. She ain't woke. People say Cindy goes to bed early. It's because she ain't woke. She just ain't woke. Will she give a hearing to a person that's not committed in the woke silliness, that's not committed to get rid of Rehagen? I don't know. I plan to ask her Sunday. You can watch the show. We're going to have Cindy O'Loughlin and Doug Beck on back-to-back on This Week in Missouri Politics. But more importantly, will they say, we're not confirming you? If they confirm, then I was suckered. Kelton was suckered. I mean, they got us. Good job, guys. Way to go. You said you were ending the woke left-wing stuff. You lied, and I don't blame the liar. I blame the sucker in me to believe them. But I'm going to be honest with you, Kelton. Here's me being the delusional optimist that I am. I actually think Kehoe means what he says. I'll tell you this much. Even his detractors, I don't know Mike Kehoe to lie. I don't know even his people that aren't. And you'd be like, oh, fine, you're just a fan. And admittedly, I am. That is very, very accurate. But I actually believe he meant it. I think in his career, even his detractors don't say he doesn't keep his word. I spoke to him a couple times since the election. I actually think when Mike Kehoe says something, he means it. And I don't think John Rehagen will be the interim director. I think he will want somebody to come in here and say, we're stopping this woke nonsense. The legislature, say what I know a lot of these people personally. When Mike Searpoy and Jill Carter, not always the most ideologically aligned, or even by the same cliques in the Senate, but when they come out and they're inquiring on the floor together, I actually think they might mean it. Now, we'll see, and you can laugh at me. Kelton, it'll be funny. In January, we'll be sitting there, and they'll be like, oh, remember, Faughn, you had that clue game and that 12 days of DI? We didn't care. We were lying the whole time about getting rid of the wokeness. So we'll see. But I'll tell you, Cindy O'Loughlin, she's not woke. She even goes to bed early. That's how not woke she is. I'm just going to ask her, will you even give a hearing to somebody that hasn't promised to fire the right people and clean the place up? Do they even get a hearing? And it'll be interesting to see what she says. Doug Beck, I look, do I think Doug has more tolerance for these things? Yes. But even Doug Beck, he's not ridiculous. I mean, Doug is a common sense dude. I don't know if we'll get a chance to talk to Doug. We got several other things to talk to him about, but we will ask Cindy. I mean, are you going to give a hearing to these people if they don't commit to end the wokeness? Speaking of, a person, I got to thank you, Alex Bryant sent me his book. I actually sent Alex a book. He's a Bernie Goldberg fan, which I am too. He sent me his book, Alex Bryant, Man Up, A Guide to Godly Masculinity. Pop on the internet and check your copy out. It came over the weekend. I just got it this morning. Thank you very much, Alex. I very much appreciate this. This will be something I will read this month and I will have on the shelf. Again, folks, thank you so much for donating things. Look what I got, Kelton. I got a Harris Quaid button. Check that out. Didn't go that great in Missouri, but that's something I'm going to keep as a person who knows Crystal and is a fan of hers. It's a cool thing to be the nominee of your party for governor. It'll be interesting to see what the future holds for, I guess, still Representative Quaid for another month. I got a chance to visit with her. She's doing very well and in a very good place after the election. Kelton, DI, tomorrow, let's skip tomorrow. I've got to be gone. Wednesday, big announcement. It'll be the third day of DEI DCI. I'm going to introduce you to a new person at the Missouri Times that I think is going to be, you're going to see a lot on camera. It's going to be a fun place. I think you're going to like it. I'm very excited to introduce you to somebody that I am very excited about. I've been stoked. It's been hard for me to keep this secret from you, but I wanted to wait till the right time. That right time we thought might be tomorrow, but it's going to be Wednesday. I've got to be out tomorrow. Kelton, can we do Wednesday at noon?
I'll clear up my schedule just for you.
Sweet. We'll do Wednesday at noon, then Sunday, this week in Missouri Politics, Cindy O'Loughlin, Doug Beck will bring to you their perspective on the Senate next session. Then we got to get on the last show of the year. We're gonna have like a double last show. We're gonna have like a double season finale. We do the last show of the year with Senator Eric Schmidt every year for 10 years now. But the week after, for our viewers in Central Missouri, St. Joseph, Springfield, we're going to have a kind of a documentary put together with some of Congressman Mark Alford's town halls. I'm going to talk to him about them and about how everything came together to make that a success. So that's going to be what would normally be our last show of the year would be next Sunday. For some parts of the state, we'll have a show at the very end talking about, kind of in Congressman Alford's area, talking about the work he did. So Kelton, we got to thank our sponsors. United Fiber, and the Courtyard by Marriott. We have to thank the lawnmower and the weed eater that shaved Kelton's face. I mean, that thing, how they had to sharpen those blades immediately after getting done with you. Also, and thank you again to Alex Bryant. I appreciate the book. It was a different person that sent me the button, but I'm much obliged. And again, if you come up for the inauguration, which is on the 13th, come by the office. If you've give us something, we'll have it displayed somewhere. Please come by, either here, the Speakeasy, somewhere around here. We'll have your item displayed. We are very grateful for the generosity of the folks that watch this program, and we will see you Wednesday with a big new announcement on the third day of DEI, right? And then we'll see you Sunday for This Week in Missouri Politics.